So hi guys, welcome to tonight's stream. Now I will warn you, it will be quite a short one, and by a short one I mean it will be the length that it's supposed to be, not the length it normally is. Now we don't have a Natasha at the moment. I presume that normally means that Natasha's busy doing, obviously she has some help come in and they turn up when they turn up, or she's forgotten me, or she doesn't want to come on, or something's happened, who knows what. So I'm afraid you've got to put up with me on my own today until she joins us. What have you guys been up to? If anybody wants to join me, they can. The link is posted at the top of the stream, so you're welcome to pop in. We have David Markey again. Hi, David Markey. He says, hello, Natasha. So obviously she's not here yet, but I will tell her. Well, she'll see it. So Octal's modeling kit says, hi, how are you, Penny? I'm good. I'm very, very good, actually. I went to Stratford today to see what I could see. I'm desperately looking for a model shop. When I was in Barking, there was two or three model shops in Romford, which is one bus journey. So I'm looking for something that's like one bus journey or a walk. And I went to Stratford, and there's nothing in Stratford. There's not even a Hobbycraft in Stratford. They've got this massive, great big mall, absolutely packed full of all sorts of things, and there's no Hobbycraft. They've got these strange Japanese toy stores, but no modeling or anything like that. But I did pick up a book. I could not believe my luck. As you all know, well, as you will know on Friday, if you don't know already, I'm beginning work on the Lancaster. So obviously all the research that you can do is always awesome. I found this book. Now, I can't remember where I know the name Max Hastings. But you got this book. It's all about Operation Pedestal and Chastise. £7. Look how big it is. It's huge. And it's got a recommended price on the inside of £30. So if £30 is too much for you and that book looks of interest, I'd get yourself down W.H. Smith's right now. There's various pictures in it, some information. It says here Max Hastings is the author of 30 books, most about conflict, and between 1986 and 2002. Served as editor-in-chief of the Daily Telegraph, then editor of the Evening Standard. He's won many prizes for journalism. So yeah, and he's got a website, maxhastings.com. So I've heard the name somewhere. I've probably just heard it on my travels somewhere. But yeah, interesting, heavy reading, very heavy reading. I've also bought a load of magazines because I'm going to be subscribing to them. There's nothing I like more than getting home and then the magazine's waiting for me or whatever through the post. I don't know if I told you last time about the David has several of his books. So yeah, you'll know of him more than I will. I've got to be honest with you, I'm a little bit guilty of buying books for the title, not for the author. and it's like I've read books and I've got absolutely no idea who wrote them, and I know that's really bad, but that's how I am. So David says, "Evening, Penny. Hello, Natasha. Hello, Optal. Hi, David." Smith B says, "Hi, all." Horlicks is in the house. Hi, Penny. Good evening. So if Natasha doesn't turn up, which I'm sure she will, I'm sure she's just running behind. My phone has decided to go mental, but in all fairness, it's my cats running around somewhere. Yeah, they're playing in the hallway. So obviously, I keep getting these messages, so I keep checking them to see if it's Natasha. You know, it might be Natasha saying, "Sorry, running late. Be 5 minutes," or "Go away, never want to speak to you again," or whatever she's likely to say. So yeah, if she doesn't turn up by the time I run out of conversation, then what I'll do is I'll probably get on with my bus or something. I've actually incorrectly titled the show. Natasha's site is on. I am linked to it as well. So where, do you know what? Oh, I go. Chat's coming in way too quick. So hi Penny, good evening. Hello Smith Bees. Hello Horlicks. Hi all. Hi David. Hi David. Hi David. Good evening. Natasha's site is on. Right. Yeah. So yeah, I've incorrectly titled the show. I completely forgot that I'd made the decision to rename this show the Penny and Natasha show. It's going out on Natasha's channel. And let's be fair, it's as much Natasha's show as it is mine. David says, hello, Teresa. Sorry, guys. I think most of these cats have decided to play. So I have 2 webcams in my house so that I can watch the cats, make sure they're okay. I'm going to get some more so I can get different angles. But one of them is in the kitchen that looks out through the doorway into the hallway. And they're playing in the hallway, so of course they're triggering the motion sensor. So, but it's nice because me being home. See, every time I come home, I effectively change their routine, and then when I go, I muck their routine up, and then they develop a new routine. So whereas they've been used to the last week, every time I get up, they get fed. So they're obviously being sorry, Smith Speed says at least the dinging in your phone isn't me this time, Penny. Yeah, so they're used to being fed as soon as they get up. So, or rather, they're being used to being fed in the morning. Last couple of mornings, they've been getting up and waiting by the door. They've got this kind of transition. They're getting getting fed in the morning, but they're also having to wait for someone to come in. So yesterday, Shadow sat by the door for about 3 hours, from about 8 in the morning till about 1 o'clock when the cat sitter turned up. Poor thing. So yeah, so obviously they're having a play now, and every time they run across the doorway, it triggers it. So yeah, I've not done a lot. I've just put the chassis bars in on the bus. Excuse the milk bits. I've made a little stand for it, so when I paint it, it's going to stand without touching the ground. It's just a couple of these milks with some blue tack. You have to use what you can in the hotel. So these serve a multitude of purposes. First of all, they're very good for paint palettes. Secondly, they're very good for stands. And thirdly, they're actually quite good for making coffee with. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to do the bus. So I have the most wonderful. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll tell you what I'm going to do that I could have done that I haven't done. I'm just going to drop a little message. So maybe she's having a row with someone. Oh, now the living room's being triggered as well. So And I'm happy to say all of my fan homes are coming. Ooh. Oh. So my ET has just been a bit annoyed about my ET actually from fan home. So Penny, why don't you tell us what you're going to do in relation to what? In relation to, I'll wait for you to answer that one. Yeah, so normally a part work, you get 2 issues in the first pack. Then it goes generally 4 issues a month. Now, my first fan home, apart from the Ecto 1, my first part work with fan home was the Gauntlet. And it went 2 issues in pack 1, 4 issues in pack 3. And then ever since then, it's been 5 issues per pack. Fine. Now, in reality, it's been coming about every 5 weeks. And I messaged fan home and I said, look, what's the payment and schedule and that? And they said, they come back and they said, payment is taken 28 days after shipment date. So that makes it roughly 5 weekly, because it takes them up to a week to actually post it once they've sent it out. All right, fair enough. That's going to work out. Then the Robocop started up, 2 issues in pack 1, 4 issues in pack 2. Pack 3 came with 4 issues, and they keep coming with 4 issues. Now, it got delayed over Christmas, and I just put that down to Christmas. You know, everything's slow over Christmas, but it turns out they had stock issues. Oh, that's what someone else told me. So, all right, fair enough. But I've already made the decision with the ET that I'm going to do it fortnightly. So you get ET 1 week, Robocop the next, then ET. And I'm glad I did, because I've just put out, what have I put out? I'm pretty sure I've just put out 2 issues of ET. So obviously I put out issues 1 and 2, and I've put out 3 issues of Robocop, 1 issue, and a double issue, and that's fine. I can do that. I've just had the next ET paid for. It's only 3 issues, so that's a bit annoying. So I'm glad I'm doing it every 2 weeks now. You kept saying, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Oh, okay then. Well, you know me, I can't finish a sentence. MP Model Plastic, good evening, Penny. Oh, bless you. You're no longer putting pennies. I thought that was quite cute. You always put pennies for my name, and I thought that was lovely. Good evening, Penny, and all in chat. Yeah, so we are supposed to be working on the Mustang, which obviously we can't at the moment. Well, I could, but I don't want to, because I don't want to go ahead with it without Natasha. I'm just checking my phone, see if I get a reply. Not yet, just lots of cats playing with the in front of the camera. So the only other thing I can really do is maybe do some building on the bus. The only trouble with doing the bus is that I've got to flick between the computer, and I've got to do bits that I can do. It's all getting rather awkward, because, oops, let me show. How about a sing song? If you want to sing, Smith Speeds, I'm not going to stop you. Right, so I'm kind of doing what I can. Why is my camera not changed? Because I've not picked the correct camera. It's not that one. It is that one. Right, so I have stuck. Oh, that's pulled the milk off nearly. So I've stuck these bars on for underneath. Now, let me get. I've become very organized, guys. You're going to be shocked at me. As I'm prepping bits, bits are coming off and bits are being prepped. So I put them into little Ziploc bags and I've labeled them, look, bus stage 1. So what is going to happen is stage 1, this is stage 2, just gluing this bit on, nothing to it, and those little tiny bits, which are fine. I could clean that out because there's a little lump in there and that needs drilling out. Now the glue is set overnight. As you can see, it's rock solid now. So stage 1 is popping these bits on. Let me just double check the instructions. There's more to it than that, actually. So you've got, I can never remember which way round these go. I think they go, so the 2 sides go on like so. That this front bit goes on, and I'm gonna these lumps there. I don't know if I'm trying to get them into focus. The trouble is I've got a manual focus camera, so and I've also got too much light. So I've got, you see, you've got 3 bumps there. They're definitely going to have to come off because it's going to go there, and this is actually going to be where the driver sits. So I think they are definitely going to be visible. So when I'm finished, they'll be just up there underneath that roof. So as you can see from this, well, you can't see the inside. All of this needs to be done. Sorry, bear with me a sec. So hi David, Teresa won't let me. What kit are you building? So the kit that I'm building is this, and the reason I'm not going to be filming it is I will be doing I can never remember who makes it, but it's a wooden model and it's better than this and it's lovely, and I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna do the wooden one. Same as I might actually do the 48 scale Lancaster off camera, because I can't see what benefit I'll have. I mean, it'll give me something to do off camera, but I'm doing the 32 scale. So yeah, this is going there, and I think that's going to be shown on show. Now, all of this is going to be tan colored. The insides are going to be white on the walls. The outside is going to be white, but it's going to be red up to there, this panel across there. So obviously I'm going to paint this white and then do the red over the top. The driver's cab is going to be black and the actual engine is going to be red. And the seats inside are going to be grey, but the seats on the top are going to be wood. So obviously the passengers upstairs are sitting on bare wooden seats. I guess downstairs I don't know if there was an actual first class and second class, because it looks to me like the seats on the bottom deck is much nicer than the ones on the top. The fact that they're grey suggests to me it was covered in some kind of fabric to make them more comfortable, whereas the seats on the top deck were just wood. So there's a couple of benches going in either side. Now the problem I've got, as I say, the problem, these have got windows, which obviously I want to put the windows in after I've painted them. Now the windows, if I can find them, they're somewhere. They're in a pile somewhere. I've just pulled everything out and now I can't find them for some reason. Anyway, the windows are half missing. I don't know if whoever bought this knew that, because I don't remember the clear. I thought the clear parts were inside the main bag. Isn't that interesting? I can't even find the seats, the windows now. Or did I put them in a bag inside the main sprues? No? How can I lose them? This is how my life, there we are. So these are the windows. That, there we go. So it turns out there's an entire sprue missing, or half a sprue. So that piece of glass is going into there to form that window, like so. And then there should be another one to go in on the other side. This is the back. No, this window is for, this is the front of it. This is where the driver sits. So that's going in there. And there should be two small pieces of glass for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until I get home. The chances of me getting some kind of plastic in my part works is huge, and I think I'll just cut bits of like you know the material you get, like when you get the part works, the plastic that they come in. I might as well reuse some of that. So I'll remake the windows. That won't be a problem, but obviously I've got to paint these first, but I can't stick the windows in until that's done. So, and there's an absolute ton of cleanup, which I'm actually starting to embrace and enjoy. So, where are we up to? Sorry, guys. Here we go. What kit are you building? So, no, that's it. Hi all. Just had internet worked on. Hope he did fix it. So. Yeah, so showing you the bus. I see is that Airfix. You just showed us. Hi, Love Minis. Are you using the colours of the kit or your choice of colours? I'm going to use the colours of the kit. I've actually seen, this is the actual bus that's at the London Transport Museum. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be giving this to someone. There's a really nice lady at Bow Road, and she collects models of buses, the corgi ones and all sorts. And I said, oh, well, I hadn't told her actually, but I'm going to make this and I'm going to give it to her, so I know where it is. And I'm going to end up making one exactly the same, but out of wood. And I can always make another one of those in the future if I want to. So yeah, I am doing the colors on the box. So Love Mini says hi MP. So what's the version of the Mustang? So the Mustang is the version 4, is that North American Mustang 4, and it is in number 112 Squadron, based in Italy in 1945. So it's obviously a late war one. So that's going to be fun. Oh, I've just noticed 12. Oh, it's a decal. Is that a decal? Oh, that's going to be fun. I've just noticed it's got a yellow leading edge on the wing, and I thought, oh, we don't get yellow in the kit, but I know that Natasha's got yellow, and I thought, oh, we could paint that, but they do supply a decal. So obviously Natasha's going to get a choice. She can paint that on with yellow, or she can use the decals. Hopefully she'll choose to use the decals. So David Muck says, hello, Love Minis. Robert Eason says, hello, hi, Penny, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. MP says, hi, Robert. Smith B says, hi, Robert. Love Minis. You could get a thin... Yeah, I could get thin acrylic sheets. But to be honest with you, every time I get home and I open up my part works and I film them, I throw away a bin full of plastic. So why not just cut it up and reuse it? Saves me going out buying some. I haven't actually got any here. But yeah, basically, my part works. I mean, I don't often show the parts on camera. I normally put them out on the desk because I hate all of that as I'm doing videos. So I try and sort of take them out of the packaging before I start. Horlick says, hey, Love Minis, how are you? Dominique says, evening, Penny. Robert says, hi, MP. David Marcus says, hello, Dominique. David says, hello, Robert. Lovemoney says, hey, Horlicks. Running like an engine with 300,000 miles on it. Oh, so you're still going then? No problems. Yeah, so yeah, I might do some work on this then, because that's the only thing I can do without getting too far ahead. So if I jump to, I've got all the bits for stage 3, which is putting the engine, what do you call it? Oh, the bit where the driver sits, the driver's cab. There you go. Horlick says, if you're a diesel engine, that's just breaking in. Robert says, hi, David. And Dominique says, evening, David. So yeah, let's have a little crack at that then. So stage 3 is here. So I spent a little bit of time this morning cutting the bits off and dry fitting them, and they all fit. Now the only thing I've got a problem with is there should be a tiny piece in here, and I've just shot the whole contents over the table. Oh, there it is. So as you can see, all of the bit that I'm building is going to be red, except for the radiator. So what I'm thinking of doing, this piece goes there, and that's the driver's bit. That's where the driver's feet are going to go. So there'll be a steering wheel and pedals. And then you've got this piece comes out there, and I think this is going to be seamline heaven. This piece is going there, and this piece is going there to form the side, and all of this that you can see there will be sprayed red. Now I'm not very good at holding these in. So you've then got the radiator that goes on. No, you've got this bit that goes on. This is going to be silver. So I'm thinking, let's paint this before we pop it on. And then we've got the radiator, which goes on. I can't know if it goes that way or if it goes that way. I'll have to double check the instructions. It goes that way, and that is black. But what I think I'm going to do, I'm probably going to paint it a metallic, and I'm just going to dry brush the hell out of it until it's with black, until it's almost covered. So you'll have like those deeper recesses. There'll be a little touch of silver in it. So where are we up to? So Dominic says, hi, MP, love minis. Yes, Horlicks, I will go with that. MP, the diorama I'm going to build is the Mini Art Tram X 1 to 35 to create a scene in the street World War II. Nice. And then MP says, hi, Dominic. So I suppose we could start on this, couldn't we? So I hate gluing pieces like this, because if you get one wrong, it's all going to, like, do I glue this bit together and then glue that bit and then glue that to this? Or do I put that on and hope I've got it right? If anything doesn't line up, because, oh, sorry guys, I just dropped a bit on the floor and I've just found some clear parts on the floor. Oh, no. No. It looks like I dropped the parts on the floor when I first started on the bus. So these are the parts that I'm missing, look. So there's 2 windows there, and there's a big sheet there. And there's also what looks like some headlights. That's been sitting on there, down there for days. That's actually fallen on the floor. If I hadn't now dropped this piece, I probably would never, well, I would have found them when I moved out. Yeah, so the issue I've got here is that this isn't a really tight fit. I don't know if you can see that there's so much movement there. So I've got to get that in right. So that don't go there, that goes there, doesn't it? So that's gonna, see if I glue these on against the sides, I don't know if that's going to work. And seeing dry fitting them is so hard to do. So I don't know, I think I'm just going to go for it. And I think I'll just put these. I think I'll just bang them on, I think. But I do want to push this. This is good. This peg here is a really, really tight fit. So that means I can push this on. And that needs a bit of a clean up. I missed a bit on the end. You know, it's like you always miss a little bit, don't you? But it's better that you discover it before you glue it on. There you go, that's gone. So yeah, this bit is a really, really tight fit. So that will go on there, that will go on there really nicely. And you don't have to worry about it falling off unless you give it a bit of a bang. So then we can put that on. So there is actually a slight drop there. So I think that will fit. So I think what I will do, oops. Double check I've got it the right way around, because there's nothing worse than sticking things on the wrong way around, because it could go on that way or it could go on that way. At least you've got the number in the right way. But this little chunky bit there, I don't know what that is, part of the radiator perhaps, that needs to go on the front. So what I'm going to do, in fact, I'm going to use my slower glue, and I'm just going to glue the tabs. I think that'll be the easy way. And then that way, if it's not fitting, I can pull it off without doing too much damage. So just a tiny drop. Like I say, if I need to put it, well, if it turns out I have put it on correctly, then obviously I can just fill the rest in with Tamiya extra thin, like that. And that idea isn't working. Because it's not a good fit. It is actually a terrible fit, and I think that's going to need a little bit of filler. But it's going to give me enough to play with to have a look at the fit. Right, okay, that's good. That's good. So I think that's given me enough. Unfortunately, I can't zoom my camera in on this. what I'm doing here is I thought I put a bit too much glue on, so I've taken as much glue off my brush as I can, and I've just tried to remove some. Right, and I'm doing it like this because then obviously between the three pieces I need a flat contact with the base. And I'm just going to give that a little bit longer because obviously that's a longer drying glue. So that is going to be quite a nasty seam line, but that's going to need filling. I'll see what I can do with this extra thin, but I don't think it's going to fill a gap that big. But if I can probably, I don't know, could I fill it from behind? So I'm just checking my phone. Oh, sorry, give me a sec. Oh, nice. Sorry, I've just got an email from the vets. Well, not the vets, but what they call the Healthy Pet Club. And when I lost Nymeria, I think it was $17.99 a month, and Shadow was he was £1 cheaper. You can use the zoom of Windows and amplify your image. Yes, but that doesn't zoom it for you, does it? So the carpet monster strike again. Yeah, they kind of did, but obviously the carpet bit off more than it could chew and it couldn't swallow it. Right. So I'm going to go with that because there's actually very little movement side to side once these sides are on. This is an awful kit, by the way. Have I told you that? Right. I think I'm going to have to... I just want to prop this up. There's a little bit on one side there, so it rocks about. So I think what I'm going to do, if that's going to work, it would help if I got a straight stick, wouldn't it? There we go. That's going to be a lot better. That's just going to stabilize that a bit more. Right. So see, I don't want to glue this fully, all of it, because there's different colors. Oops. I thought it'd be really clever if I pushed it with a stick, but that's just made things worse. Yeah, this isn't terrific, you know, guys. So as you can see there, there's a massive gap there. That is the best I can do, because as you can see, the gap on the other side is about the same. It's not going to be a major problem because I'm trying to find something pointy. Just there is actually the edge. No, that's all red. All of it's red. So there's a little ridge there. That's going to cause the problem. Or is there? Yes, there is a little bit of a ridge, ever so slightly. Right, so that's that on. So this bit is going to be silver, and this bit is going to be black. See, once these go, oh my God, look at that. Oh, that's right, that's going to be silver all the way down there. And then you've got this tiny piece, which is the radiator filler cap. That's going to go in that little hole that's left. So I think that's done enough for now. And we'll look at doing some filler. Actually, it's not done for now. It's done until I put this next bit on. Now, I'm finding a lot of these pieces don't seem to want to fit. But having said that, because that's meant to go on to there, that wants to go on to there, but I'm trying to figure out how exactly, because according to the instructions, you're gluing this on and then you're placing it there, or you're placing it there. Now, if it goes on to there, I don't know if you can see, but it doesn't quite fit properly. This bit is wider than the gap. Unless it goes part of the way up like that, and then it fits. If it goes on this gap there, it's not the same width by quite a bit, look. Now there's a notch cut out there. It would be really nice if they had some bit on there. So that's the bit I can't figure out. Which is why I wanted to build it. Because it just, in fact, it's, yeah, because the way they've done it is that they're bringing this to this. So it's not 100% clear where this goes. I'm only making the assumption it goes there because there's a line going across. So that feels like a natural stop, like that. But there's no natural stop sideways. There is, but it's the quality of the plastic that stops it from going side to side. And I can see I've actually not cleaned this up properly. There you go. Just a little tiny bit there. So that's going to need a little bit of a rub with sandpaper, but I can't really hold it. That's too. That's an improvement. See, I can see a line there, and there's a line there. And I just think a lot of this is just have a go and hope you got it right, which I don't think is the best way to make model kits. Because I was hoping that by starting to build it, it will then all come together, because you can't possibly hold together this many pieces and it all stays together. Now there's a notch there, which I wonder if that will go there. I think I've just found it, guys. I found my notch, guys. It goes there. So that means that's in the wrong place. Because that quite clearly goes there. Like so. Which means that this is that going to go in? There you go. There you go. I figured it. I have figured it. So there's a slight overlap there, but it's pushed these bars out, but I can get them in. So I think the best bet, we'll leave that held there like that. Don't worry about that gap, because you've got the side bit coming in, you've still got the driver's seat to come in. But yeah, I think there's some progress been made there. Right. So you can use this, right. So we've got no more chat coming. So yeah, it's actually starting. Well, it looks like a truck at the moment, which, to be fair, that's what a bus is. A bus is just a truck with a different back on it. Right. I am now genuinely concerned for Natasha. Has anyone spoken to her today or seen her? I appreciate that things happen, but she's not normally disappeared for this length of time. So I'm actually concerned for her. Right, I think that's going to go. Oh, actually, there's a little gap there where this is going to go in. See what I mean? Once you start gluing things together, it does kind of make sense. So, yeah, I did see her on her video. Yeah, she's made a video today. And yeah, so but I don't know if anyone's seen her on a live. I did check some of the lives, and she doesn't seem to be on it. On any. Let me. Little history. I haven't seen Little History streaming. But normally Little History doesn't stream if Lindsay's streaming. Sorry guys, bear with me. Yeah, he's not live at the moment. So and Lindsay is he still streaming? Can't find him. Cannot find him. No, I don't know. I don't know. No. Yeah, Little History's on Lindsay's stream. So yeah. So spoke with her early, messaged her recently, no answer, we'll give her a call. Okay. Just obviously I'm a little bit worried because you know, she might be 10 or 15 minutes late because, you know, I know a little bit about her background, and you know, it's what happens. Terry's having a night off. Terry's actually on Lindsay's stream. So he's kind of, I'd call that a semi night off. Right. So, oh God. No. There we go. So that's that stuck down. I think I'm going to have to fill this before I go any further on it. But at least I've found out how it goes on. It is a very, very tight fit, which isn't a bad thing really, is it? Because I say that front bit, I didn't know if that was on properly. I think it might be a good idea if I tape that radiator on. If I tape the radiator on, you see that it's a bit tight because the side bits they're in a little bit. So if I put the radiator on, it's just going to push them out. So then I'll know that they are fitted properly. There we go. And that radiator is not cleaned up properly. I can see flash on it. So obviously if I have flash on there and I push that in, then the sides are going to be out too much. And then when I put this on, there's going to be filler needed. And I really don't want to put filler on a on a detailed part. See, that's not a terrible fit at the moment. So right, where's my masking tape? I had some. My desk is a mess. I can't remember where I last saw masking tape. There we go. I know I had. See, the last time I actually remember using masking tape was my desk at home. This is one of the joys of flitting between London and home. So that can go on there, and once that's on, I can then paint this up, and that will go into there. And I think I've made the right decision there. Right, that is definitely a Facebook message. I recognize. My phone does this funny thing where my phone does this kind of squelchy beep, and I know it's Facebook, but when I look at my phone, there's no notification, and I go into Facebook Messenger and there's no messages, and then I come out and then a message comes up. It's like the old days. Do you remember when the old days when you used to have you had an incoming text message and all the radios and everything in the area would do that thing, and then suddenly your phone would go. Sorry, not text messages, phone calls. It's how you knew you were getting a phone call. It's like my phone does the same with Facebook. So, and I also get a similar thing with WhatsApp. Look at that. That gap is actually quite bad. That's going to need clamping when I glue it. Look at that. So, but yeah, this, it's okay. It's all right. I'll get there. I'm still confident I'll make a nice kit out of this. So I can't really do much with this now because the next step, well, there's two next steps. Oh, that's not going in. That's not going in. And I've ended up pulling this as a result. Oh, that's annoying. But then if I pulled it apart that easily, there's obviously not been much contact. And the glue's not been able to work. Because this glue does actually dry fairly quickly. Yeah, that's a tiny gap there. I wonder if that's going to need some reinforcing. See, if I was at home, I'd go, I know what I'll do. I'll make some sprue goo up. Because I've just bought some little glass jars just for that purpose. Right. See, I want to put this in because then it's going to hold it in the right place. There we go. That's done it. But I don't want any of that glue spilling out and sticking it to the chassis. That'll do, won't it, guys? So the next stages is putting some details into the driver's bit there. There's no seat yet. Why is this no driver's seat? Have I missed it out? That's odd. Nah, I must have missed the driver's seat out. Sorry, guys, I'm just looking at the instructions. No, I haven't missed a seat. Oh, because the seat comes in this first stage. So you glue the driver's seat to the wall and then it goes in. Which is going to be fun, which I don't want to do that until I think we're going to have to do some airbrushing, aren't we, guys? So, do you want to see my fancy new spray booth? Let me, I'm going to put all these Airfix parts back. because I don't want to lose them. That's my joystick. So someone's being naughty while they're at work. Billy's going, oi, 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 oi. That's a very East London thing, isn't it? Oi, oi. I can't believe I found those parts, you know. Actually, these aren't the parts I just found. These are the ones I already had. So you'll love this. I said to one of the lovely girls at the hotel, I've got to say that now because Billy's watching. I said to one of the lovely girls at work, I said, oh, I'm after a box. Can you help? She said, yeah, but we don't always get, you know, we'll get a box when it comes in. No problems. So I went to do my little usual trick. I go and steal some milk. And I don't know if they'd done it on purpose or if they'd forgotten about it, but they left a box in the little breakfast area. So I just saw it and I went, I'm having that. So I checked that they didn't need it. And this is now my spray booth. This is my hotel spray booth. So that can go on there and that flap can go down. I want to keep this flap up because then when I'm done with it at the end of the 3 weeks, I can put stuff in that box, close it up, and it doubles up as an actual box. So I'm going to apologize in advance, guys, because I'm going to be doing some airbrushing. I'm going to have to run I'm going to use, because I'm only doing one color, sorry, a non-detail work, so I'm just going to use my battery operated one. And I like this one because it cleans up easier. Because it's got the battery on it, I can take this to the kitchen sink. And I can just run hot water through it and it cleans so easily. And and I don't even mess the sink up. So I want to take this out then, don't I? Do I want to take that out? I've got myself in a muddle, guys, for some reason. I don't even know what I'm doing. So I want that, and I want stage 1 pieces, and I want to prime them all white. And don't tell Billy, but I stole a glove. But I don't know if they're going to fit because these are small. Normally I wear medium or large. Yeah, they're a bit small for me. Yeah, I can't even get them on, look. Oh well. I'm pretty sure I've got some gloves somewhere. Sundries. There we are. I have got some gloves. Yeah. This comes from, this one is one of the last ones from, I'm going to have to steal some from work. I work at a depot where they have latex gloves in abundance for the mechanics. Just depend. There we go. So yeah, Billy says, yeah, you can always ask. I know. It's just, I mean, like, if I knew it was actual real thievery, you don't think I'd be telling you that in front of you, what do you? Right, so guys, because I want the colors nice and vibrant, there isn't going to be any weathering because it's going to be a lovely London bus. I am going to do this in a white primer. Like I say, absolutely no weathering. I kind of get the impression from the photo that it's cleaned nicely every day. It's probably the driver and conductor's job, I reckon, at the end of the day. So this is Stylorez Prime, made by the same people who do Badger, or is Badger. The reason it's in a small bottle is obviously because of my travel. I decant it into a small bottle. This is actually the AK Interactive empty bottles, which I bought on eBay. think the best way to do this. Do you know what? I'm just gonna. There you go. There you go. I am a genius. Ever so slightly. Where's my blue tack gone? You can see that although I do like the size of the desk, it's big enough to work on. It does still need you to be a little bit careful. You still need to plan a bit. So what I'm doing is I'm just doing a cheeky little pointy stick. There we go. Actually, I could use the edges. That's fine. Right. Okay, here we go. The only trouble with this airbrush is you can't control the air pressure. So if you've really got to control you can control the paint flow, as you can see. So you have to be a bit careful. So you can't do all your fancy thinning paints down and this, that, and the other. So absolutely critical that you check, and that's not coming out. I think that's blocked. Should have checked. There we go. That's working. So now here's a debate for you guys. Do you prime? Do you feel you need to prime? That's not working. Please don't say I got a blocked hairbrush. That is coming out. But then it's not. Yeah, look. Bugger. So if I take that off, it's going to leak. So yeah, so I say I like to prime because I just think it checks the surface. But yeah, I'm watching a lot of videos lately about priming, and it says you don't need to. A lot of modern paints is you don't need primer. Now, the way I see it, obviously this is an older model. Okay, no worries. I'll check my phone. You know what? That's what I feared. Forgotten your name again, Teresa. That is what I feared. And I'm going to blame someone for that. So it turns out Natasha's not well, so she won't be joining us tonight. And yeah, Teresa, correct me if I'm wrong, mental state plays a lot big part in that, doesn't it? This bloody airbrush. I need to take it home, and I think I need to put some heavy duty tool cleaner through it. It's kind of really coming through steady, really, really slow. It's taking me all that effort just to put that on. Yeah, so if Natasha's situation is caused by stress, I know who I'm blaming for that, and I'm really not happy with them. That's starting to come through. That's a coming. I don't know why it's now started to come through, but if anyone knows about cleaning airbrushes, I know that with it's quite funny. There's a few posts on Facebook at the moment. It's a big debate about the airbrush. Now, I am firmly in the camp because I'm an intermediate. I've just recently reluctantly admitted I'm intermediate. I'm not a beginner anymore. But I don't believe that unless you are absolutely, really good standard, I don't think an airbrush actually makes a difference with, oh, look, I've missed some marks on there. So there's no point me, and on there. So there's no point me painting the outside because it's all going to get sanded. So, okay, that makes life easier. Yeah, so unless you're a really good standard with an airbrush, I don't think the quality of the airbrush makes a difference to your standard of work. An analogy I've used a lot before is it's like football boots. You go out and buy, if you're, your son is 4 years old, he's suddenly, he's getting into football. You go out and you buy him £1,000 football boots. He's not going to suddenly turn into the best 4-year-old footballer in the world, is he? The boots don't make you a Premier League player. Your ability does. And if you don't know an awful lot about airbrushing, so this guy on Facebook he's getting a bit put off because people are saying, you got to buy this airbrush, you got to buy that one. And then now people are saying to him, no, you don't. And there's people out there that have been using these £15 airbrushes. Same with what I am. This is cheap. Most of my airbrushes have been really cheap. Now, I do acknowledge that you can get a different result, a better result with a better airbrush, but 90% of your errors are usually to do with cleaning and user. So if you're thinking about airbrushing, guys, go out and get a cheap airbrush. You don't have to spend 500 quid on an airbrush. This is showing up so many errors. One of the things I don't like about primer, you think you've done a good job cleaning, and then it turns out you haven't. I'll come back to that. See, it's coming through so thin. Normally I'd have to control that to get that thin, but that's blasted out. And I've just got a fear that at any minute that airbrush is going to unblock and it's all going to come flying out, which will be funny for you guys, won't it? But not so funny for me. Right. So as you can see, I tried to put light coats on with primer. They talk about a dusting coat, and then a coverage coat, and then a wet coat. See, that's a bit more of a coverage coat. That's nearly there, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't think I should be having to move this slowly. But I'm just struggling along. Right, so Billy says, I'll have a look in my makeup box, see if I have any. No, it's okay. I've actually got Mr. Hobby tool cleaner at home, and it is absolutely amazing. But look, if I do struggle, I've got this airbrush. This is all controllable with the pressures and that. It's not controllable on there with the pressures, but I've got a little tap for it. The only drawback is this air compressor. It's only a little basic one, but it is as loud as anything. It is really loud. I like to try and avoid using it because it is very, very loud. But when I'm spraying colors, it's all I can really use, because this won't do my colors so well. Because obviously, if I'm really, that's the one I've just done. When I'm spraying colors, I want my layers a little bit thinner, which means I've got to turn the air pressure down. But you know as well, Billy, when I was here this time, I had a lot of stuff that I had to take home with me. So I tried to cram as much into my bags as I could. So this, I really didn't have a space to put it in the bag and take it home and clean it, but it'll be going home with me next time. As you can see, it's a right old state. So don't be lazy with your cleaning, guys, because you will regret it later on. But I'll have this cleaned in 5 minutes for tool cleaner, maybe 10 minutes at worst. I think I want to prime inside as well, don't I, guys? Inside the actual bus, because I'm going to be doing that tan. So that needs doing. And then once I get round to it, I'll do the bottom black, prime it in black, and then go over it black. Because that's going to need redoing, isn't it? That's awful. That's really shown those sink marks off. I tried to get away with it, but I think deep down I knew I wouldn't. That's all right. That's. I'm not going to do this absolutely perfect, because I will be. Even if I did this perfect, I'll still go over it with white, because the white that I want will be the paint. I want the paint finish, not the primer finish. I haven't got a gloss white, so I'll be finishing it off with gloss varnish. And obviously, if I touch this up with white paint, then I don't even know if this is going to be the same color. I suppose it's theoretically possible that two manufacturers' whites could be different colors. Oh, this is a single action airbrush as well, by the way, guys, which is a pain in the bum, because by habit I use the airbrush to dry. That's nearly run out. Right, guys, can you give me 2 minutes? I'm going to give this a good wash out. See if I can shift anything with hot water. Hot water is brilliant. But all I've really got is airbrush and thinners, which is better than nothing. So I should be disappearing for a minute or two. So check this out, guys. I don't know if you can see it. It's no cleaner in there. That's just hot water. That is absolutely brilliant. Now I've got a wet hand and I'm miles away from my kitchen roll. What have I done with that? I have currently got the messiest hotel room floor known to man. When I showed you the Warhammer magazines yesterday, I put them on the floor. And they well, because they're magazines with parts in them, they're lopsided, and so they're kind of like this. And the more magazines you stack on, the more they go this way. And I just so much as looked at them and they fell over. So so yeah, magazines all over the floor, boxes all over the floor, and all sorts. Right, so I'm going to pop some more primer in here, and we'll get that bust done, and then I'm going to call it a day, because I don't know if that's coming out now. There you go, guys. That's a lot better, isn't it? Yeah, because they changed my shift today, so I don't know if I mentioned it. They've changed my shift tomorrow, so instead of starting at 3 in the afternoon, I'm actually starting at 9:30 in the morning. So I need to be up at 6 o'clock. So if I'm in bed by 10, I should be all right. Oh, that's lovely. Look at how well that's gone on. This is just a dusting coat. So in case you've never airbrushed before, it's the way I've always been told, is you just go over it, just put a little bit of primer down, just to get it stuck to the plastic. Like that. And that's called a dusting coat. Okay. So that's primed. That's not primed. So then your second coat, you can put it on a little bit heavier, and now you're looking at full coverage. Because that second layer is sticking to the first layer. So there you go. So that's full coverage compared to the first layer. Now this, the reason I've not stuck the sides on, this is actually going to be tan inside here. Oh, that's looking nice already, actually. The reason that's not coming through is because I'm running out of primer in the cup. I try and be stingy with my primer. I get a bit fed up of always throwing. Do you ever paint something and you got loads of paint left in the cup? Okay. Don't know why I'm painting that bit. So that is drying. So while I'm there, I might as well go over these again. So this has had 2 layers. The third layer is what they, and I don't like it, but it's what they call a wet layer. Now, I do worry, even though I shouldn't need to. If you flood a model with paint, obviously you're gonna, no matter how thin the paint is, you are going to cover up all your detail. For some reason, now don't ask me about the science of it, but when you go too heavy with a primer, it forgives, and it's all good. So, you know, you can, I mean, I wouldn't suggest you actually drip it in primer. That's better, isn't it? But you can go a bit heavy. That's not even actually a wet layer. But that's good enough. And then I think that bit is ready. I think that's going to need some work doing to it. Look, all the little marks I missed out. And they're all on the outside. That actually is fine. I'm all right with that. So, yeah. So unfortunately, there you go. There's a wet layer for you. You can see how that's got quite a lot of primer on it compared to that. And then obviously you let that sit and dry before you do anything. I'd say, I don't know, maybe it's like acting like a protective layer. One thing I have noticed, I've never used this primer on this specific type of plastic, and by this specific type I mean old Airfix. This isn't like the new plastic, I wouldn't imagine. What I normally find with this primer is, I'll show you in a minute, if you were to scrape it with your fingernail, it will come off and you'll go, oh, this primer is useless, it's not sticking to the plastic. But if you leave it overnight, it won't come off. It really does need to cure. Why is that now suddenly? Oh, this is why I don't like this. This is actually quite uncomfortable, this airbrush now, because it's getting really hot there on the motor. I tried to find a hose for it, but the threads are the wrong way round. It's got, you know, the Chinese like to do their threads the opposite way round. They say, was it righty tighty, lefty loosey? And for some reason, a lot of Chinese threads, they're righty loosey, lefty tighty, which is really, really hard to say that, because for years I've always said righty tighty, lefty loosey, but to say it the wrong way round is actually quite difficult. So this is one of the many reasons I use acrylics, is I am in a hotel room spraying into a shoebox. So obviously having smelly thinners isn't going to work for me, is it? And there's a lot less space in here than there is in my craft room. So there's not even a case of ventilation. And I'm pretty sure that they'll be quite angry with me if I sprayed lacquer paints around. So, and I know there's a group of people out there that belong, to the group of, you'll never get good results with acrylic paint. And I'm sorry, I disagree with you. I'm just checking the bottom of this. I think, oh, she had me back set in the same position for too long. I think that's actually going to be black under that lip. See, this is the things they don't tell you. You can only there we go. We have to look at that box out there. I think that's going to be black. I think from, and set off the fire alarm, says Billy. Yeah, that's another thing. Hotels don't like it when you set fire alarms off. So this bit there is definitely going to be red. And then I think from there downwards it's black. So I might as well leave that. So yeah, I think I'm just going to use up what's left in the cup, and then we'll call it a day if it's all right with you guys. Well, even if it's not all right with you guys, it's going to have to happen, because that's how I've got to be in work. So I'm up about 6 o'clock. Because if I'm not up at 6, I'm not enjoying the lovely breakfast from the hotel. Which is great, because one of the biggest problems I have is I skip breakfast. Mainly because I can't be bothered to make breakfast. When I'm in London, because I have breakfast, it really does set me up for the day. I don't eat a massive amount, but obviously if I go to bed. If I go to work with no breakfast, and then I have like a 4-hour stint driving a bus, and I get hungry during that 4 hours, that's a long time to be hungry. So there you go. That's the bit I flooded earlier. You see, that's dried nicely. But I am going to go over this with a white paint. I don't like to use primer as a color unless I have to. The main times I'll go over a color with primer is, say for example, I've painted black and I want that done on a lighter color. I will go over the primer with the black with a white primer, because the coverage is so opaque. And I will show you one time. I just realized I haven't done these bottom panels, and I'm worried I'm not going to have enough primer to do them. Can you see where I was holding the piece? Yeah, I'm not going to go right up the top. So like I say, I've got these sink marks that I want to get rid of. That isn't perfect, but I'm really not going to worry about it, because all of this is going to be done in tan. And then once I've done it in tan, I'm going to put some tiny dabs of right. So yeah, here's Natasha. Hey, I'll just popping in to say hi. Okay, sorry if I let you down. I'm going to sleep now. You have not let us down, Natasha. You know, it's not like this is a job or anything. And then production has been slowed down. As you can see, I've still found something to do. But yeah, as long as you're okay, Natasha, that's the main priority. But right, guys, I'm going to take a couple of minute break. I'm just going to clean this brush out again. But that's a trick I'll tell you about when I come back. But cleaning it with hot water, brilliant. Sorry, guys. Right, I'm back. Yeah, so I'd seen a guy, I can't remember who it was now, on YouTube. He'd said about cleaning your brush with hot water, like just straight out the kettle hot water. And I'm like, nah, that can't work. And he says that it's you don't actually. So I'm not just chucking stuff randomly on the floor. I actually have a bin bag. Hotel bins a little bit small, and they're like the kind of bins you'd put in your bathroom, a little pedal bin. And there's nothing wrong with them, but your average hotel stayer is just going to put like tea and coffee and sugar packets in there, and they stay for a few nights, maybe a week at the latest, and then they go. Hotels, and I said this to the hotel, you know, the name of the hotel is Holiday Inn Express, and that is kind of a clue to the type of hotel it is. What this hotel is not called is bus driver comes down on loan and brings all of their modeling stuff and stays for 3 weeks Express. So you just kind of have to make do with what you got. But anyway, so I always have a bin bag, because one little tiny bin is about this big and about that wide, and it's just tiny. And I think they struggle to find bloody pedal bins. The pedal bin drowns the bin. It's that small, but it's just, you know, it's perfect for a little hotel like this. Right, so guys, I'm really sorry it's not been the show that we were expecting, but on the plus I've got some of my bus done, so I can see I've still got a lot more cleaning to do. I knew I had some cleaning on this bit, because you can see those 3 marks on the top. The reason I hadn't taken those off sooner is also the part number at the top. 2 reasons. One is that I'm cleaning a lot of these pieces up, and I'm removing the part number and sanding it down, and then I'm putting the piece together like on the nose. I can't find what I've done with that. Where's the front gone? This is the trouble with putting a great big, there we go. So all those pieces there, they've got the part number inside. So you kind of stick it down, you go, oh, I didn't need to sand that down, it wouldn't have been visible anyway. And also, if you look at those 3 dots, they look equally spaced. They actually look quite neat. They're all the same height. They're about 1/4 mil sticking up, and they're all nice and neat and sharp, almost as though they were supposed to be put there. But now that I've been sort of having a play around, I don't think they're meant to be there, so I'm going to remove them. And I think they will be seen, because this is actually the driver's side, because you've got that little lump there. That's the passenger side. So I think, but there's so much going on this. Yes, because the windows, do you know what? I actually don't know. No, that is actually the driver's. That's the driver's side. I'm sure. Do you know what? These instructions aren't clear. It is this the lumpy bit, the bit with all the marks, is actually the driver's side. But the acetate's going in from the outside. This is what is confusing me, and I'm watching the wrong stream. So let me switch back. So the reason I'm confused, that's the driver's side, and you can see from this window with the recess, the windows go in from the driver's side. Fair enough. Now this is the cab. Sorry, this is the inside of the passenger bit, and the windows go in from inside the cab. So these are going, so it's going to look something like this. So these windows, the windows are going in from the inside, but that one is going in from that side. And then this, I don't think it actually makes a difference, but the window's going in from that side, because you've got a little step. So it's going to stop the window from going all the way through. Let me check the instructions on this one, guys. I can't see any detail. I'm actually going to put it this way because this side is perfectly clear. This side has got sink marks. No, you're going to need that. That detail is there for a reason, isn't it? So this is where the staircase is going to go. So I wonder if that notch is needed there. Let me have a look further down. Let me put the stairs on. Yes, that is the outside. That is the outside. Because when you look at the instructions to put the stairs on, that notch is there and that square is there. So I don't think I need to, well, I do need to worry about those. That's annoying. So there you go, guys. Look, so the windows, the back and the sides, the windows go on from the inside. But this bit, the windows go in from the outside in, which is confusing. So I think that makes, well, it's all about the clues, isn't it? See, and it actually says on the instructions, the acetate sheet needs to go on this side. Ah. So there's no need for that step. No, I'm confused now. Oh well, right. Right, sorry guys, I'm rabbiting on about stupid stuff now. Right, so Jeff, like, no worries, Tasha, sleep well, take care. Take care, Natasha, hope you feel better soon, Tasha. So, I don't really think I can do much else. This one. So, I'm going to call it a night. So, first of all, get well soon, Natasha. Hope you, I don't know if it's as simple as sleeping it off, but if you do, if it is, then I hope you sleep it off really well. We are going to be streaming next on Wednesday. Next Wednesday is a week today. As always with London, that is subject to change, but it's doubtful. Quite often, sometimes what they'll do, they can't force me to work a rest day, and Wednesday is a rest day. But what they can do is change my Thursday shift from a late to an early or whatever. But we may just adjust the times a little bit. We'll see what happens. I'm debating whether to do a little stream tomorrow, just a general anything stream. Because of my shift changing tomorrow, I'll be finishing about 6 o'clock. And I don't start, I think it's 1 o'clock or something the following day. Let me double check. Yeah, so tomorrow I finish at 6, and then on Friday I don't start till 3 o'clock. Nice short shift. I like the look of that. 20 past 3 till 11:45. 7.5 hour shift. Nice. I'm happy with that. So yeah, I might just do a general, post a link up. You can come and join us and just do a what I call a Y stream, what have you, WHY. Right, guys, so I'm going to disappear. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you. If I don't see you before, I'll see you on Wednesday. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.